My name is Yoko, and I am a Vietnamese worker who used to work for the Diawusa industry before we shut down in 2001. I arrived at the American Samoa on July 23, 1998. Two other groups of Vietnamese workers arrived with me. They said, when they offered us this job, that we'd be working in America and that we would have good wages and a way to support our family. What we didn't know was that it was not America. It was actually the American Samoa, which, while U.S. territory, does not offer the same benefits that America does, including minimum wage, workers' benefits, health care. Unfortunately, that was not for us. When I was told I would go to the U.S., and a deputy director said that I would be paid $4,000 a month, but I hardly got any of that. I had to borrow $4,000 just to pay them to rent an apartment. I had to work from 7 a.m. to 2 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes 7 a.m. the following day. We had no money to buy soap, amenities, or food. We had to pay $200 for meals, which Diawusa said would be included in the contract. Our meals were nothing good. They were just boiled potatoes and leeks. They would be cooked in a big pot of water. And then, if you were in front of the line, you might get some of the potato. But if you were in the back of the line, you might only get water. Working and living conditions in Diawusa were very suffocating. I was put in a cabin with 4 other women, and I was sharing another worker on a tiny bed. Most of us are women. At night, the director would sometimes come into our bedrooms. One day, he forced me to give him a massage in the bed. At the workplace, there were 3 pregnant women among us. Mr. Lee demanded they undergo abortion. He fired them when they refused. Addicted from Diawusa, they sought refuge at a local church. Movement in Diawusa was very restricted. Everyone leaving the compound would have to be thoroughly searched. If they refused, they would be beaten up. Once I was slapped. As of November 28 of last year, 2000, there was a dispute between the supervisor and the female worker. Mr. Lee ordered the supervisor, if you beat her to death, I will take the blame. The supervisor dragged the female worker out. Other workers came to her rescue. The American Samoa guards who were already holding sticks and scissors jumped in and beat us. Everyone was so frightened, we ran for our life. The guards paid special attention to the 5 or 6 workers known to have supported the lawsuit of Mr. Lee. They beat them the hardest. Miss Quinn, the key witness in this lawsuit, was held by her arms on 2 sides by the guard. A 3rd guard thrust a pointed stick into her eye. She has now lost her eye. A guard beat a male worker, breaking his front teeth and bleeding his mouth. From 1999 to the above incident, TC-12, an international manpower supply, another Vietnamese worker hiring workers for Diawusa, forced us to continue working without pay and threatened to send us back to Vietnam if we were disobeyed. Everyone was so deeply in debt. If we went to Vietnam, there'd be absolutely no way of paying back that debt. The interest rates were high, about 50% a year. After the lawsuit, I managed to go back to the U.S. I'm very fortunate that I've managed. Others were not so lucky. I work for a nail salon now, and I send back all the money I make back to Vietnam to pay my debt. Otherwise, I'd be in a hopeless situation. Even if I was sent back to Vietnam, I would not be able to find employment. My previous workplace and the owners, even though they are now arrested, I still have power. It would be hard for me to get hired in another place. I'm getting used to life in the U.S. Here, I am free to choose where I work. I am not forced into indentured servitude. If I am dissatisfied with one workplace, I can always go and find another one. I have been thoroughly helped in my first steps toward normal life. I find everyone to be very nice and kind to me, especially the American family, which I am now staying with, until I can find a place of my own. I have received a certification letter from the Department of Health and now have a temporary work visa. Hopefully, soon I will get it renewed and I will be able to stay here permanently. When we were working at the American Samoa legally, and they forced us for indentured servitude, and we made absolutely no money, these were the clothes that are being sent to Target, JCPenney, Walmart, Sears. These are the clothes that many Americans are now working and have no idea where their wages come from. JCPenney has done the right thing. They have paid back all the workers like myself and many others, over 300, back wages. On contrast, Walmart has absolutely nothing to pay us back any of our wages. Please urge these companies, write them a letter and tell them support. Let our story be heard, and may what happened to me and many others in this horrible sweatshop situation never happen again.